Warm blessings. This is Mastershamanpalichee, and I'm here today with you. And we're going to be talking about the 6 signs you are destined to be a shaman. So, what are the 6 signs that's going to show up for you that shows that you are destined to become a shaman? So, if you've had concussions in the past, and these are concussions, a hit to your head, multiple concussions at a young age, multiple head injuries as a kid, as an infant, even or toddler. But you survived these multiple head injuries, and maybe you also were in a coma. So concussions are and has been something that from my experience, it has been something of very traumatizing to the brain, traumatizing to emotion, to the head. And if you've had concussions and have been in a coma for a day or two, or maybe more than a few days, and you actually get revived back up, that actually shows that there is something going on in regards to some kind of negative entity stopping you from really getting to a purpose in this life. So it's trying to take life rather than give life. And having multiple concussions is something that can damage the brain. And I'll say that I've had several concussions as a child, but having concussions several times as a child and you survive it and you still make it out of it and you still are able to function normally as a person, and that is something that is more like a miracle. Okay, so miracles have happened to these people that have had concussions as a child or toddler or young adult, and they survive, and they are actually very called to become a shaman, to heal themselves in such ways. Okay, so concussions is one of the signs that you will see if you've had several concussions, if you've hit your head or got head injuries a lot as a child. That is one sign. All right. Another sign that comes as well is metaphysical experiences. So when you have these metaphysical experiences, whether it's an experience to seeing an angel or angels, and you just visually see these angels, there's also, a vision of them as well. So you might not actually see them with the naked eye, but you're seeing the angels with a vision. So inside of your head, or it could be an in between sleep and awake state. And if you're seeing something like this, it's like a divine mystical experience. And if you are experiencing this, or if you have experienced these mystical experiences, you can experience them with the ascended masters. So that's like Jesus. If you have ever experienced something phenomenal of a metaphysical or divine experience where Jesus comes to you and it really feels like he was there and he leads you somewhere, right? And then that is also a sign, also with like Buddha or Guan Yin is another good one. Mother Mary can come through, or even an angel that is huge and you don't even know what the name of this angel is, but they are huge and they just have it's like an apparition, sort of, so to speak, and you experience this metaphysical or divine experience and it just can't get it out of your head, right? You just can't forget about it as a kid. and you will remember this till the day that you grow old. This is also a sign. If you've had a near-death experience or a out-of-body experience, this also counts as a mystical or metaphysical experience that has been divinely brought to you. Some may be negative, like the near death experience, right? It's taking life from you, but at the same time, you're also experiencing something phenomenal in the subconsciousness, okay? In your subconscious mind. If you've had an out of body experience, that is also to say that you've also had something of a negative metaphysical experience. However, you've also experienced a different state of mind going through maybe a certain portal, the soul that is, and the soul got to experience something drastically different than what they have or what it has experienced here on earth. So this is a metaphysical experience, right? And if you've ever had that, that's definitely a sign. Number 3, unexplainable illnesses. If you've had unexplainable illnesses that has come into your life and you just can't, you don't know what the heck it is, you don't understand how you got the headache or how you got the stomach ache, or suddenly one side of your arm starts feeling some kind of pain, or for example, you haven't done anything all day, you've been maybe just relaxing, and then suddenly you have sciatic pain or lower back pain or whatever pain it is in the body. Well, these unexplainable illnesses is a sign of being destined to become a shaman. Why is that? Because it's an unexplainable illness that has just out of the blue happened to you. You notice this when the weather, and this is something that you'll notice later on, but you may notice this when the weather changes, that you have migraines, or you've been having maybe like a low headache or a consistent headache. And that's been happening to your head like several repeated times every time that that happens, right? You've been noticing also that you've been having multiple stomach flu like symptoms, though you are not fully having the flu at the same time. And sometimes you will have the flu to a really, really bad state of stomach pain. Let's say only a week later you have it again, or another week later you have it again. So these are repeated or multiple unexplainable illnesses that you know that you haven't eaten anything strange. You also know that you haven't come across, anything weird that you would notice. So then it's an unexplainable illness. So when you start to notice this symptom, you notice that you didn't do anything to cause it. In that, you're thinking to yourself, so why do I feel the this certain headache every time, let's say, it starts to thunderstorm and rain? Why am I feeling a negative feeling about the thunderstorm? Like your head is going to start to have migraines, maybe at the frontal or in the occipital, the back or the front, or on the side, and or your temples are actually just pumping away, and you notice this, but most of the people are not going to notice this at the beginning. They'll notice they'll notice the headaches later on as an adult or as an older adult, unless someone else pointed out to them, hey, you're having headaches because of this, and actually spiritual diagnosed it for you. Also, some unexplainable illnesses is suddenly you have a lump around your ear and you haven't done anything to, create the lump, or you can't find a reason or how that lump was caused by to even come about. So this could also happen obviously through different waves that has caused issues of body pains, but at the same time you are experiencing these things more than on a normal basis. So these are the unexplainable illnesses that would have caused you to think, and it just comes into your gut feeling, I know I didn't do anything to cause this illness. I know I wasn't anxious. I didn't have anxiety, and you haven't done anything. So you can't find the cause to the illness. And that's when it is an unexplainable illness. This is also a third sign that you uh, are destined to become a shaman. Trauma is our next and fourth sign. So when you have trauma in your life, and everybody sort of has some kind of trauma, but I'm talking about the trauma that happens over and over and over again, and it happens for a specific phase of your life or in a specific time in your life, and it just continue and repeatedly happens, and you're being taken advantage of several times, through this trauma. If there has been infidelity, or people are just bullying you, or you and continuously doing this, and then you're also being betrayed. So all the negative, how do I say, emotional things has been hitting you to become traumatized, and it just doesn't stop, and you just keep going in a circle with the trauma until after a certain period of time, and this trauma kind of goes away, and you try to block it away from your life or from your head or from your memory, right? So if you've had trauma in your life, and this could be also the head injuries or multiple injuries that just can't seem to go away, and it just keeps hitting you at the same place, right? Whether it's physical trauma or mental or emotional trauma that has hurt you. And this is the fourth sign. The fifth thing that I have is psychic abilities. Psychic abilities is where you would notice within yourself there's a deep knowing that comes about. And when there's this deep knowing that comes about, you know in your gut feeling something will happen, and it does. And it keeps happening like this, like it's repeated and repeated over and over again, where you get a sign in your head. And this could be a knowing, a clear knowing, a clear vision, a clear hearing, a clear seeing, right? The vision, a clear hearing. This is the clear audience, right? A clear voice that you can hear, and you just know something is going to happen. Well, that is your psychic abilities. And this is the fifth sign that is showing you that you are destined to become a shaman. And this is also the part where you are noticing, and this could be later on, but someone else tells you, hey, when you were a child, you said this and this and this, and it happened. And they would tell you this. They could tell you this, right? This person, or parents, or uncles and aunts. And then there's also your memory. You remember that you remembered seeing this vision of something, or hearing some information about something that's going to happen, and it did. And so that's telling you that you have a sign there. Our next sign is ET and paranormal encounters. And so these are visions of ET, or ET that actually, visits you, maybe in through a dream or something like that. Whether it's good or not good, you are experiencing ET level, you're connecting, or someone's connecting to you, something is connecting to you in that sense. And so when this happens, you may get actually more visions after, or you are experiencing some bodily, whether it's painful or whether it's not painful, there's something different about yourself that you experience afterward. That is also a sign. And also the negative paranormal encounters. So paranormal encounters, you're encountering, you're seeing shadows, whether it's light or dark. You're also having paranormal activities repeatedly. Say, for example, sleep paralysis ongoing, maybe every other night or something like that. This is something of a calling to you, that you are being stalked, right? You are being stalked, and you are some, there's open energy flowing in through to you. And why are we destined to become a shaman, in fact, right? We are destined to become shamans because of these things that happen to us. You have a gift that came with you. And when negative entities can visually see this from afar, they will come in and cause you problems. And sometimes we'll call that distractions. And sometimes it is your karma, but sometimes it is the distractions. Why do you need to become a shaman? So that you can deal with these things, because you have been experiencing these things, these type of signs, right? These 6 signs, especially, these are some of the main 6 signs that's showing you that you are destined to become a shaman. So if you notice that you have come across these 6 signs, then you'll start to realize these signs as you go, right? And if you haven't noticed these signs yet, then perhaps you will start to notice them. And after you hear this through this video, you'll start to even notice them even greater. If you haven't already, go out to like and subscribe. Warm blessings from Master Shaman Palichee.